Rob, what's
Yes.
up, man? How are
Yep.
you?
Happy today.
Happy today, indeed. It is an RVD Thursday. We're a little early today. We're
Yes.
rocking at 7 p.m., 7:15 p.m., whatever time
Happy
it may be.
420, by the way, here on the West Coast. On the dot right now. Check
Nailed it.
your local listings. Yes, sir. Happy 420. We're starting it off good.
Right? We got a
Yes.
lot to talk about today. Obviously, you had a big weekend this past
Talking about the 420 episode right now at 420.
right? Jeez.
Boom.
Talk
Everything is
about
on God. Yeah.
synchronicity right there, man. Synchronicity.
Man, I love hearing our song, so it's almost worth getting flagged every week. Yeah, so this week we are on a little bit early because we have the flexibility to be able to do that, and I wanted to accommodate my good friend who is joining us today. So he asked if we could do a little early. I checked. We can. We doing it.
Yep.
I don't know how everyone else thinks about it. They can let us know in the chats. See if we get our regular people or what. Because who knows, if they like it better. Maybe we do this all the time. Anyway, elephant in the room. Who is that friend? Who that friend? Bring him on. Bonjour, Mr. Rene Dupree.
Bonjour, comment allez-vous?
Yes. Happy to have you, dude. It looks like you got a more professional setup than normal. Usually you're like laying like half on, half off your sofa, and you're just like staring up and like an eating pizza while you're like half of your face is on the screen.
Yeah. No, I'll probably grab some muscle milk and protein cookies a little later here if we're going for a couple hours. I get hungry. I'm a bodybuilder, dude. I gotta eat.
You got quality up though, man.
I got a new mic.
Digging the mic. Looks like you're in a real studio.
No, it's still just in my house, but just got the
It qualifies, bro. It qualifies. It's still a real studio.
Yeah, man. How you doing, bro?
Very good. I'm glad that this month is almost over. It's been a really, really busy month, and I'm not complaining. I'm just saying it's the hardest I've worked in a long time, and it's been such that I have been looking forward to the end of this I don't know what it's been, a 6-8 week run, whatever. But I come up to Canada this weekend to Toronto.
Nice.
Toronto. Yep. Kojo.
Leaving tomorrow, you mean?
Well, I leave Saturday, come back Sunday. It's a really quick trip.
Okay, good. That's
Signing Sunday at this card convention in Mississauga, and it's Kojo Sports. And then after that, I get a breather. But man, it's been like April was like crazy busy.
Cool. I'm headed to New York City tomorrow morning. I gotta leave here at 3:30 in the morning to get to the airport at 4 in the morning for a 5 a.m. flight. So
fun. Yep, that's fun.
I start like a 4 or 5 week run to where it's nonstop for 4 or 5 weeks. Then I get a couple weeks break. So yeah.
What's the signing you got going on down in New York? Is it a signing you got?
Yeah, it's at the wrestling store or something.
Oh, right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Good guys.
And then I think there's one in Connecticut too. So we're doing that one. Is that in Queens?
Yeah. Yeah. Everyone's, I've been there. I was just there a few weeks ago, and I think that was maybe my third or fourth time that I've been there. So
okay. I know Kevin Nash is going to be on right before us. And then me, Rob, and Slice, all three of us. So
wow.
If you're in the area, please drop in and say hi.
Yep. They're very familiar with it. Ozone Park or Ozark, what is I don't know. It's in Queens, but I don't know why I'm trying to say something with an O. But
and then I guess we're driving up to
Wrestling Universe.
And then we drive up to Connecticut for another signing, and then we actually got a show somewhere. I don't know. We're doing a 6-man tag.
Yeah, you could keep pretty busy at conventions, but it's got to be hard going across the border in order to hit all of those in the States.
Yeah, that's kind of like the kayfabe, I'm just going to visit friends, so I'm not lying. I'm just going to go see buddies, right?
Yeah.
Right? So, not lying.
You're seeing friends.
Yeah, I am seeing friends hanging out. So.
A lot of promotion going on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's gonna be there? There's another wrestler that's gonna be with me this weekend. I fuck his name up. It's not Elijah, but
Elias, but it's
Elias.
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 Yep.
Oh, he just got released, right?
He
I
just
guess
got released.
I saw him last week, and I guess I'll start seeing him probably. Actually, last 2 weeks I saw him, so I'll start seeing him. I guess at a lot of these shows.
I think I'm on that show with Matt Riddle in New York. You work Matt Riddle. You guys are pretty tight, right? You guys figure we get along great.
Yeah, he's a good guy. Everyone seems to really like him. You know, the fans are really drawn towards him. And wrestling room, when you start talking business, he just seems like so happy, you know, to be there and sincere. And how do you not like a guy like that?
I met him first in Ireland. We ended up staying up all night with two old Irish ladies singing folk songs till about 6 a.m. drinking beer.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, he was a good guy with me. So looking forward to seeing him again.
I love his style of wrestling too. Like,
he mixes because he knows the shoot, so he incorporates both. Plus, he does some high flying stuff. So he's a hell of a talent, man.
Yeah,
good looking guy. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
kind of looks like a Von Erich.
Yeah, that's a great. Yeah, absolutely. Definitely see that.
Yeah.
A Von Erich type look to him. So
no doubt upon it.
True that.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Rob, how about so talk about your experience with AEW this past weekend. You did the 420 Fatal 4-Way match, got the W, added a W to that column. How you feeling about it?
That's right. I got another W. So now I'm 3-3, I think, right?
Yeah, breaking even.
Hey,
baby.
that's not so bad. We're keeping my win-loss record with AEW here. Yeah, dude, I started the first what I'm sure will be many years of 420 Fatal 4-Way matches. I don't know if it was fatal. Nobody died.
Nobody did die.
Yeah, you know, it was fun. I guess one of my favorite parts was just everyone telling me they had fun with it. And Tony's response afterwards, like he's always really demonstrative in his delivery when he's showing his appreciation afterwards, you know, like he's always and I guess he's like this a lot because whenever I imitate him, people say that's him, you know, but you know, he'll speak like in bursts, you know, I'd be like, Rob, that was great and you were awesome and you know that was so much fun. It's great having you here. The fans love you, you know, and that's probably the funnest part was just seeing him like genuinely, you know, like, and he went out there afterwards, you know, and talked to the crowd and said he's like the Santa Claus of 420.
I saw the backstage promo too with you.
Yeah.
Commander.
Rob, I gotta ask you a question. Like, are you allowed to say it, or does he like participate in 420, or is that kayfabe?
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. Yeah, I do not have that knowledge. Yeah, but you know, as far as my preference, you know, I'd rather have a singles match. You know, like in a 4-way. I'm already in my head thinking, okay, there's a good chance it's going to be a little, with 4 people in there, you got to leave a little room for a little bit of chaotic sloppiness or something going a little off or people run into each other or something. It's just in my mind. I always expect that, you know. And, you know, when there's 4 guys, I only got 25% of the attention. So for me, the less guys, the more my preference. Just like I've said before, I don't know about you, Renee, but like Battle Royals has always been like one of my least favorite matches.
Dude, it's like one of the most boring matches ever to watch and to be in. Pat Patterson's such a genius for creating the Royal Rumble style match. Like every 2 minutes, someone else comes in.
Everyone does that now. All the other indies, everyone steals it now. Yeah, that's become the new way.
He took one of the most boring matches and turned it into one of the most exciting matches of the year. Like, I can't wait for the Royal Rumble. Was always my favorite pay-per-view of the year.
Yeah,
for the Rumble. Yeah, and like, you know, when there's a surprise entrance, like somebody you haven't seen in years, it's like, whoa, there he is. You know, it's fucking great. Well, did you guys get a super chat? You got. I see.
We got super chats going. We don't have one yet.
Is it?
Is it
true that Pat also offered to shake your pee off in the in the restroom?
No.
We'll let it go. Yeah, like I'm gonna say funny to that. It ain't worth it. It was a throwaway comment.
Oh, I could tell. No, I'm not going to talk about that. Maybe.
No.
Hey, talk about this,
We don't
Renee.
need any info. We don't have any.
Renee, what's the strongest wrestler you ever lifted with in the gym for bodybuilding style reps? Anybody stand out?
You'd be surprised. I used to watch Rob. He used to have this Van Dam. He had his own lift.
Yeah, he does.
Where he did the splits between two benches. And what was it? 110-pound dumbbell? You were like doing splits between two benches, and then you were holding a 110-pound dumbbell.
I did that just posing, right. And then people were saying, people can't do that shit. Maybe you should go for a record or something. So I did 166.5 pounds.
Wow.
And, yeah. And I thought it was just kind of a number we just kind of picked. It was Fonzie's body weight, and we're like, so it was just a number. And I didn't know how much I could do. It wasn't something that I ever did during a workout. It was only a photo op ever. People ask me, do you still do the Van Dam lift? It's like, I never did, get a camera out, we'll see. But I thought that people would come after it and then push me, and maybe I'd have push the weight up and challenge me. And it never seemed to happen. But now it's getting a little bit of play on it. And recently, you know who that dude is? That Juji Mufu? No. Renee? Oh, you don't?
Yeah.
Yeah, he beat it. He beat it recently. He did like 185 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah.
To be broken, right?
I always kind of wondered why he didn't come after it anyway, because he's so freakishly athletic, super jacked dude, but he does all the backflips and does capoeira and you should follow him on Instagram. He's an interesting follow because he always does really crazy stuff. And I guess he's friends with that guy Boggs. Is that his name? The guy that played the guitar?
Or Rick Booge?
Eric Booge?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What is it?
Eric Bugenhainer was his real name or something, but Rick Boogs he went by in WWE.
Okay, yeah, I saw those two guys do a video together, and they're both just crazy. Like, he just does crazy stuff. Like, he'll grab the weight cage, and he's like walking down the driveway carrying the cage with a sled tied to him or something. And he does all these like things that are nuts. Like, he's made a complete floor out of rubber bands and like laid on that and like his bench pressing and doing stuff on that. And he's really interesting. And he's always doing stuff that makes me pop. Like who would think of, some of all this stuff that he does, like nobody does that. So that's why I knew that he would be able to do the Van Dam lift. He also, he likes the, that smelling sauce stuff. Like,
wow.
After watching him like a couple of years ago, watching him one time made me feel like I wanted to try that, and I bought it, but I've never used it. Like, I've never had the moment where I feel I never go where I'm going to go for my maximum bench press, and it's always more like I'm tired, so I just need some caffeine. There's never a point where I need explosive energy like right now. Like, I never seem to find that moment.
What was that bodybuilder's name? 5%. That was his name of his company. He was he died like at 48 years old. What the fuck's that guy's name?
Did they do that documentary on him?
Yeah, he had a company called 5%. Maybe the chat knows. He was a bodybuilder.
I don't know. That's not the guy that had that disease where his muscles have the ripples in them and shit, right? Like,
fuck, I forget the guy's name, but
is it Rich Piana?
Yes, Rich Piana.
Yeah,
he used to snort his pre-workouts.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Like, like the C4 or whatever pre-workout, he would light it up like a cocaine line and snort
Holy
it.
shit.
He ended up dying at 48 of a massive heart attack. Who the fuck? Right?
Yeah. That name sounds familiar.
I'm going to pull it.
Yeah. He had a big company. He was big on social media and YouTube for years.
Wow. Yeah. Hey, Slim Jimmy. Yes, I did enjoy the brown paper bag from Indigo. That was awesome. I hope to do more grand openings or just appearances at the cannabis stores, because that's right up my alley, and I like talking to the community and connecting with them and fucking, I'm proud every time a new store is open and cannabis is made accessible for the people who want it, need it, and it's moving forward. So it always hits me right in the heart whenever I get an opportunity like that.
Somebody else asked if you happened to see their sign. It was when they were at Collision. It said one of a kind and a yin yang symbol on a box on the cardboard side. I was right by the floor with Shivani, where Shivani sat. Did you see that sign, Rob?
I did see that sign, man. I appreciated that. And a bunch of RVD signs, as a matter of fact. So always stoked, you know. I always count on it, but never know for sure exactly how big the pop's going to be or how much the fans are going to be excited that I'm there. But, you know, that was cool. Obviously, it was like 3 other like young guys that are high flyers. So it was more of a that kind of a match over like when I wrestled Swerve, and it was hardcore, and that's my preferred environment. That's where I shine. You know, I think that's where my strengths are. But all those guys were cool, and they were very appreciative. They all let me know they grew up watching me, and it was like a dream come true to wrestle with me, be in the ring, to work with me, and shit like that. So that always goes a long way.
I liked it too, how it started off while you guys were all going to lock up, and then you ducked under him and sat on the turnbuckle and just like watched him for a little bit. It's pretty clever.
Yeah.
Here's the Rich Piana guy there, Renee. Look at those arms.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, man. He is swollen. Wow.
So he used to compete and stuff. Then he realized that there was no money in competition. So he just became like an influencer or whatever, made way more money on YouTube. But the amount of shit, like he was not shy to tell you exactly what he was taking as far as PEDs. Wow. And I mean, he was taking, like one cycle would cost him tens of thousands of dollars, and he would do like 5-6 cycles a year. And the end result is a massive heart attack at 48 years old, you know? So,
yeah, holy crap.
Do you think guys like this, do you think that they get regular checkups, or do you think it's likely that he never had his heart or maybe everything looked at?
No, I think they start believing that they're smarter than doctors because their egos get so big, and you know they are smart because they know a lot of shit. But then it's never enough. It's a disease. It's like anorexia, right?
Yeah.
It's a disease of the mind. It's never good enough. You're never big enough. You want to be bigger, and eventually it fucking kills you. You know.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that that testosterone will make your blood thicker too, because the red blood cell count goes up, and then it becomes too thick, and then you get a heart attack. Like that might be what happened with this guy.
Don't forget, your heart's a muscle.
Mm-hmm.
So if big.
You know, when we used to give Louis Spicoli the talk, you know, come with Louis, you got to chill on these somas, bro. Like this, you know, you're eating like way too many. And he'd always, I got it in control. Right. His defense was, he told us that the doctor told him that since the heart is a involuntary muscle that works on its own, that he was safe because soma is only relaxed your voluntary muscles that you control. And so he was saying, "Now my heart's safe," and obviously, you know, he felt a little too comfortable.
He was wrong. Yeah.
Jeez.
You guys were pretty close, right? You and Louis.
Yeah, pretty close. He was the closest person that had ever died to me at that time, and I was like so young and immature and not prepared for it. It really, you know, it really broke me down. I mean, I'd lost like at least one, if not couple grandparents, but I would only see them a couple times a year. This guy, you know, he's in my life every day right now. Currently, I'm, you know, hanging out with him in California when I'm there. And and he was in the clique, the Sabu clique. And so yeah, it really hit me hard. And I thought that that was not good news for me because I was also eating a lot of somas at the same time. Louis, myself, Sabu, in that order. Louis was the worst. Sabu was in the middle. I took way less But I thought when Louis died, like I had no idea that could happen. I was so stupid, ignorant to the fact that they were that dangerous.
Right.
And then when that happened, I was like, oh my God. And I was like, what did I do? I got myself addicted to them because I'm eating like 30 a day or something. And it's like, oh my God, I'm going to have to go to rehab. You know, like, oh my God, I can't believe I did this. I've always been so anti-drugs. And I called my dad, and I remember talking to him. And I'm like, I don't know, man. Dad, I got myself hooked on these drugs. So I was just doing it for fun, but I do it all the time now. And now, you know, I don't know. I don't know if I'll be able to stop. And he was like, have you tried to stop? And I was like, no. Like, can people do that? Because people hype up the addiction so much that it's like I didn't even know that was an option. I mean, when you're taking this every day and shit, I mean, don't you get hooked on it?
Right.
Not necessarily. He said, if you don't want to do it, try to stop. You know, you might be worried about nothing. And he was exactly right. And I always like to get that message out. I think said it on your show, Renee, recently. But it's an important message to get out. I'm not trying to downplay addiction, but I am saying, you know, that you might have a lot more strength inside you than you ever even give yourself credit for, because it's easier to just go with the flow and say, no, you know, I don't want to try that. So usually believe the hype. I don't believe the hype. I need a little more info.
Did Renee, did you take somas too on the regular or anything like that, or was that?
Yeah,
did you?
I asked for help because that was actually my rock bottom. I ended up taking way too many before a match. So we had started on the new ECW, me and Sylvan, and the rumor had it. Well, it wasn't rumor; it was fact. They were going to make a tag team title for ECW. Me and Sly were gonna win them, and even knowing that, the addiction was so strong that I didn't care, and I took a bunch before a match and got all screwed up. And when I woke up, I realized
you fucked up.
I fucked up, and the thing I loved the most in the world, which was wrestling, I didn't give a fuck about it anymore. The drugs was more important. You know what I mean? I cared more about the drugs than what, you know, got me to the United States of America. It wasn't the drugs that got me there. It was the wrestling ability. It was the wrestling. That's what pays my bills. It's not taking pills. Pills don't pay the bills. So I called up the office, and they gave me help, and I was in there for about 4 months.
Wow, man.
Yep.
How much do you attribute a lot of that? You were so young, like starting off, like in WAF and everything like that. How much do you attribute that to just kind of like just immaturity and just still developing, like learning life?
Being naive. I'm from a small French Canadian town living in the United States all of a sudden, so a total different culture. And I have, I didn't know anything, especially the South, where there's a lot of segregation. There's a lot of white power and black. Like I didn't know anything about that shit. You know what I mean? I didn't know all the stereotypical, like black people like to eat watermelon and fried chicken, all this other shit. I had no idea what that meant. You know what I mean? So like, I would say things and then it would offend people, but I didn't know. I'm just questioning this shit, right?
What were you, 18 when you started with WWE?
18, moving to Kentucky of all places.
Wow.
Right? Yeah. I got hired 2 months after my 18th birthday. About 2 weeks after I graduated high school, I was hired.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that was there.
How did that connection start too, by the way? Like just
well, my family was really tight with the Poffos.
Okay.
And my father was actually best man at Lanny Poffo's wedding.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I was there too. My mom was pregnant with me when Lanny and his wife got married. So Lanny had a friend, Nora Greenwald, Molly Holly. Was currently with the WWE at that time. So when they came to town, that's the first time I met Rob. I picked her up, gave her a place to stay. She took me backstage. I met Johnny Ace, and he told me about a tryout camp that was happening in Cincinnati in about 2 months, because it was in November. The tryout was in February. I did the tryout, and as soon as they saw me, I was hired, man. Yeah. When I actually seen Rob, I was only 17. I think.
Wow.
Yeah. I was about 6'3", 260.
Man.
Yeah.
You were like 3 of me. Yeah, I'm like 5'3" and probably like 110 at the time.
You're only 5'3"?
I'm only 5'3", well, 5'4" maybe, but whatever. Wow. One of those.
Cowboy boots, I'm about 6'5".
Oh, shit. Jeez. Rob, do you first remember meeting Renee?
No.
I had brought some smiz because I knew, I'm one of the boys, so I knew the guys like to smoke weed. So I got out in the East Coast, all my friends they all grow it themselves and really good shit. And I remember Rob saying, dude, this is a really good weed. Can you get any more? And so the next night,
straight to my heart.
Yeah. So the next night they were in a different town, but I had a friend in that town, and I think I gave him Rob's connection.
I do remember that.
That's the dude that showed up with all the other shit with Jeff Hardy.
Did he work at the gym?
Yes, he owned it. He was the owner. That was the guy that I sold supplements.
What year was that, dude?
2002.
Holy crap. Wow, I remember that. Yeah.
He's the one that showed up with the other shit for Jeff Hardy.
I think I might have been traveling with R-Truth and Kyoto for some weird reason.
No, you were traveling with Shane Helms and possibly Teddy Long.
Wow. Or maybe they were just at the gym same time as me. I don't know, but yeah.
It wasn't on the card.
Okay. Different trip then. But I do remember that about the being on, getting the guy's number and him being a hookup or something. And we wanted to get it before we left town the next day or something. I don't know. But yeah. Wow. That was a long time ago. So I remember working Renee for WWE, early around that time, I guess. I thought it was
03 we started working.
Yeah.
21 years ago. Fucking hell, 21 years ago. Jesus Christ.
Damn.
Dude, the girls at my gym are like 18. They weren't even born when I was wrestling on TV. That's how old I feel.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. I've become very comfortable with that, with knowing, that most people weren't born yet. Most people, meaning, depending on where I'm at, not an old folks home, but like a lot of times, looking at and most of the people in the room, if they're in their 20s and 30s, I've been wrestling longer than they've been alive. How are they gonna not respect my game? Katie Kate, great to see you in Livonia.
Oh, nice.
You got a couple more super chats.
Yeah, we got some super chats.
I was gonna say so far, that's one thing about doing this 2 hours earlier is there doesn't seem to be nearly as many super chats.
I think once the things gets moving, they start charging up a little bit. Honest Rev Robbins, thanks for the $2. He says, any good Batista stories? Are you a fan of Guardians? I guess that'll be for both of you. Renee, any good Batista stories?
My parents say if you have nothing good to say about somebody, don't say anything at all. So I'll just pass on. Yeah. Do
you like the Guardians of the Galaxy at all?
I never watched it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rob, you have a good Batista story. I know that.
He did an autograph signing at my comic book store. And at that time, I was doing a split with different talent, and they'd been coming in there pretty steady once a month or so for anyway, he donated his money to us. And yeah. And like when I did your show, Renee, I did your show, Renee, and
I appreciate it, dude.
And I was like, dude, but this was with a lot more money, and it really helped my store because I was just opening up. It was pretty new still. I always needed money at the store anyway. Never made money, but for our opening costs and shit, I think he was one of our first 6. I really can't remember when chronologically he was there, but I always remember that he was like super cool to have done that. And then, of course, I did Wrong Side of Town with him. He got David DeFalco, who wrote and directed and produced.
Was that the dude that had the chain with the lock? You showed me a picture? Okay.
That character. Yeah. He fell in love with Dave Bautista and then wanted to bring him in on the movie. And at first said it was going to be a small part, and then pretty soon it was like bigger and bigger. And then it's Bautista on the cover of my movie. I'm not even the main guy on the cover. It's Big Bautista, and I'm looking over his shoulder going,
oh, I see how it works.
Yeah. And that's how that one happened. But I always liked him, though, and thought he was really cool. And I didn't know that he was doing that great of a job, but this would have been one of his launching jobs, was Wrong Side of Town, because obviously he hadn't done Guardians of the Galaxy yet, or we wouldn't have been able to afford him. And I remember him putting me over too on the set, saying, "Man, you're going to surprise a lot of people." And I was like, "Well, thanks." And I mean, I not to say that he did bad, but I just mean like I didn't recognize that all of a sudden he was going to be worth millions and be doing these great Disney Marvel projects, and everything I've seen him in has been awesome too.
It seems unattainable. Go ahead, Renee.
That's one thing. Like, I've done little small like movie roles and like TV. That does not interest me in the slightest. Like, I don't care how much money is on the line. Like, wait around all day, take two. Oh no, thank you. I don't care how much money. That's just not my deal. I don't.
It's a whole different thing. It's a whole different thing, and it's not
no interest at all doing that.
Yeah, no, it could be tough. Another super chat here. World Superior 200. Thanks for the $5.
I'm just an opportunist, by the way. Like, I've been doing it so long that finally I got enough experience and life. It was really after getting divorced and life kicking me in the balls and going through the journey that I went through that made me all around. Obviously, that you go through that, you get stronger, you grow from that. But one thing that it did, it made me more comfortable in committing to, like if it's in acting, committing, boom, this is the way that I'm going to say it. And you know what? My opinion on how I should say it qualifies because I've got experience, like just that translates overall in life to where I'm like, I feel more comfortable that I qualify to stand by my opinion and not get shit from somebody else that doesn't agree with me. And there's a lot of shit like that came along. But so sometimes though with acting, it would be the opposite, where like my line could be, good to see you, Renee. And we go through it. I'm like, it's good to see you, Renee. And then we do it again. I'm like, oh, how can I say it a bit different? I'm like, oh, it's good to see you, Renee. And we're going to do it again. And then someone will come over, whether it's like a veteran actor or sometimes a director or whatever. Yeah. And he'll be like, dude, that's just a throwaway line. It's just good to see you, Renee. I'm like, how am I supposed to know that? Like, where did these instincts develop from, And there'd be shit like that over the years that I was just like, why does everyone but me know that on the set? Like,
well, it's probably like a veteran wrestler would know like how to sell something as opposed to a greenhorn, right? Same deal, right? Yeah.
Same thing. Yeah. I've never been like, I just need a chance to get noticed, and then I'm big time. I've never been like that. I'm an opportunist, never been my biggest fan, in that way, which I think is important too. Like people, they teach you so much about self-love and all that, but you also got to have some humility and be able to be a little, what's the right word? Humble.
Yeah.
Like some people seem to skip over that part, and it's like,
some people miss that aspect.
Yeah.
So I did this movie called Wrestle Massacre. I think the Sandman's in it, and Jimmy Valiant, and Tony Atlas. Okay, that's what it's called, Wrestle Massacre.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like one of the lead characters, and they really liked me, and they wanted me to do another movie, but I said, well, I want more money to do another movie. And then that's where it ended.
That ended the whole relationship.
Yeah. So it's like, listen, like my dream is not to be an actor. Like I did my buddy a favor, Richie a favor. I went for like very little money, and then if you want me again, I want like what I get paid to wrestle. You know,
Right.
No, that's where it ends. I was like, well, you're like, you get film credits. I said, I don't care.
Right.
I'm not trying to be an actor. You know,
that's like that same thing with me. Like people say, hey, are you still doing stand-up comedy? It's like, I'm not doing it. I mean, it's been a while since I've done it, but yeah, as far as that end of it goes, I'm not going to make anywhere near, what I make wrestling or just signing autographs, going on stage. So I just do that, out of passion in the art. So when I'm inspired, I jump up there, but it's not something I try to follow up. Like I'd have to be, rich and retired and not need money to really follow that,
Yeah.
Hypothetically, Rob, if you got like, say, if there was a good movie gig and it did pay a little less than like a good wrestling opportunity or something like that, but it was a good gig, like, maybe say Marvel, Disney, something going on, would you take that? Would you make the leap and be like, I'm going to take this one instead because it could have more upward swing later on, so to speak? For
me, I get paid less to act than I do to wrestle.
Okay. So yeah.
Oh,
maybe always, yeah. Sometimes it's much lower. Like the Time Toys, I think it was called, that I did, a kids movie. That one, they were like, it was like so low that it was. That one I did for it was hundreds of dollars a day, and it was just like a 3-day shoot or something. And they were just like, we'd love to have you in it or whatever. And I was like, it'd be cool to add this to my resume because I did like 2 other movies that year, so I made it 3, or and it had the reasons, which we're going to talk about that later with some RVDology. If there's a reason, there's a reason.
Oh, I like it.
So I got this story. So you guys know there's a actor from the UK that plays Superman. You guys know who I'm talking about?
Henry Cavill. Yep.
So I had this crazy freaking fan contact James as that guy. And he had like a fake Netflix contract and shit that looked legit. And then he actually called me at my house. And it was a guy with an English accent. It's a crazy friend from the UK pretending to be Superman. And he said that he wanted me on this, and I don't know anything about, because I don't follow movies. I don't know who that guy is. I don't follow like the current cool, trendy stuff. I don't know, right?
Yeah, sure.
So I had James secretly listen in on our phone call, like on speaker, and he could right away tell that it wasn't him.
Yeah.
So I was talking to this crazy fan pretending to be somebody he wasn't, and he wanted me like to fly me into LA and to how to wrestle. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some crazy motherfuckers out there, man.
Right?
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
Holy shit. Yeah, that wouldn't have been a good situation, I don't think.
I don't know what Rob, but I get like crazy female fans sending me like naked pictures all the time. Crazy male fans.
How do you get that gig? No.
But the males too, sending me like dick pics and shit. And like, brother, I didn't sign up for this shit.
I don't frequent the same chat rooms you do, apparently.
I don't do chat rooms, man. I'm just telling you that. I don't have X or Twitter. I don't have Instagram. I have one Facebook, and they find me there.
They find you on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, all right. Well, here's a question. Greg Jacobson, thanks for the $5. Can we get Rob and Renee's thoughts on Tony Khan getting beat up on Dynamite? Rob, did you see that yet?
I didn't see it yet. No, I heard a little bit about it. I don't even know. Was it one punch or no? He got hit in the stomach.
Punch in the stomach, and then he got Meltzer drivered by the Young Bucks.
Meltzer driver.
Yeah, he got Meltzer driver. That's where the Young Bucks.
Driver.
So they
pulled really call it that.
They really called that. It's really called that.
Okay.
So,
but I've seen them do a move where one of them pile drives them, and the other one maybe does a flip into.
That's it.
That's it.
Driver.
Yeah. Meltzer driver.
Meltzer driver.
Didn't realize, and they did that to Tony. I didn't see it, so I don't know what to say about it.
I just seen him take the microphone to his stomach, and I turned it off. So
One move early, you almost saw the whole thing.
yeah.
Yeah, it's getting a lot of talk today. I like it for the aspect that it made the NFL connection. So like from a business standpoint, it kind of like they talked about it on NFL.com. An article was written about it, and
Well, got good publicity then.
Got good publicity, and so that's that's a big primary aspect that doesn't get looked at sometimes.
Aren't the Jaguars a baseball team?
Football.
Okay. Foosball.
That would make sense then.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
American football. The UK fans are gonna get hot, dude. You got to call it American football.
That's right. We got yeah.
If you call soccer they get hot. It's football to them, man. They're really passionate.
They are.
Did he? I don't know if I want to ask. How did he sell it?
So
why do you think I quit watching? Like that's the one
you
thing.
Didn't even see it. You didn't even see it.
So I saw that hit the stomach and him sell it. They turned it off. Yeah.
So he got hit in the stomach and he fell like he almost got knocked out.
From the Young Bucks or some of those with them?
Jungle Baby.
Well, so was it the same? Was it? He only had one. Did Jungle Boy only had one moment out there, right?
He came out and he was like, Tony, I want to bury the hatchet. He was like, I want to bury the hatchet because of all the AEW CM Punk footage stuff. And he was like, I hope you can reinstate me. And Tony wasn't even on the mic at all the whole time. And he was just like, he celebrated with him. He's like, yeah, absolutely. And shakes his hand. Jungle Boy hugs him, then punches him in the stomach with the microphone. And then Tony falls over. Looks like he got knocked out from a stomach punch. And then he sold the stomach afterwards. But in between, it was a little funky looking. And then that's when the Young Bucks picked him up and gave him the Meltzer driver. So that's what happened.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out. I'm sure there's footage of it available.
Oh yeah, yep. Getting along.
I know Eric Bischoff wasn't fond of it. I usually catch usually the headlines pull me in, but him and Conrad always be talking about Tony Khan in a negative way, and a lot of times the headlines grab me. I'm like, because he'll be like, Tony's absolutely gone too far this time. Okay, I got to listen here to, so.
Yeah, they definitely don't see eye to eye on a lot of things. Eric has some good philosophy on stuff, obviously, and things like that. And it's just like a definitely different thing.
Well, here's the thing. How many bumps did Eric Bischoff take? And was it his money he was spending or Ted Turner's? This is Tony Khan's, well, maybe his daddy's money, but still it's in the family. So that's my defense for Tony.
There we go. What
Eric wasn't spending his money, he was spending Ted Turner's money. Right.
Like I said before, I see it like they run it more like ECW did instead of running it more like a big corporate company, for better or for worse. I can see that perspective.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, here's a pivot. How about this? Salvador M, thanks for the $2. Rob, is government a form of organized crime?
Absolutely it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I do too. We're talking about those gas prices. Definitely form of organized crime.
Katie, like a few days ago, she said, I got a trivia question for you, which, I'm ready for, like, okay, piqued my interest. And she said, what year did the federal reserves federal tax start? And I was like, oh, I got her on this. Like, she thinks she's picking something random. And I said, actually, in 1910 in Jekyll Island, the bankers got together and decided to make the Federal Reserve. She said 1913. I was like, what? No, she said 1913. So we had to ask Alexa. And It turns out in 1910, they did get together on Jekyll Island, Georgia, and that's where they put the plans together. And the bankers decided, hey, we're going to rip the people out, extort them of 25% of their income, have them send it back to us just for the fuck of it, because we make the money and we can do that. And then I guess it was 1913 that it actually went into effect. Total extortion, I mean, they do. It's funny to compare it to smaller groups of organized crime when you think that, like the mafia in our country, one of its very original founding games was the numbers racket, and they had different forms of that with the different ethnicities. But it was like people would put in, whether it was a penny way back in the day or $1. And they would bet on numbers, and then they would do just like a lottery pick. Sometimes they would do weird shit, like they would say like the last 2 digits of the 6 winning horse races on this date. That's good. That's how we're going to pick the numbers, and stuff like that everybody could understand and follow. And it was always a huge thing, and it made so much money, even like really, really cheap little 50-cent bets in Harlem way back in the day. Like, so many people would play it that it was bringing in some serious cash, and it would fund the whole operation. You got your bookies, you got your runners, you got your loan sharks. Anyway, obviously government just took that over with the state lottery. It's exactly what they did. They put everyone in jail for doing it, that they could, made it illegal, and then eventually said, fuck it, we need to own it. Same thing they do with selling drugs, same thing with anything. Absolutely. Yeah. They're organized. They're the most organized. They're so organized that they are the current rulers sitting in the throne. So their misconduct doesn't even fit the terminology of a crime, because they say so.
Right.
Because I'm a firm believer that the crack epidemic was purposely put on the black communities to keep the black man down.
I agree that too.
I firmly believe that. I firmly believe it 100%.
Yeah, that's Reaganomics.
Yep. I totally agree.
Absolutely. Yeah. There's so much information on this. It gets lost in with crazy stuff that's not true. So it's hiding in plain sight. If you YouTube it.
This episode is sponsored by Blue Chew. Let's talk about sex, guys. Remember the days when you were always ready to go? Now you can increase your performance and get the extra confidence in bed. Listen up, BlueChew.com. Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra, but in chewable tablets and at a fraction of the cost. You can take them anytime, day or night, so you can plan ahead or be ready whenever an opportunity arises. The process is simple. Sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you receive prescription within days. The best part, it's all done online, so no visits to the doctor's office, no awkward conversations, and no waiting in the line at the pharmacy. Blue Chew tablets are made in the USA and prepared and shipped direct to your door in a discreet package. They always say first impressions are important. What about lasting impressions? Blue Chew wants to help you have better sex. Discover your options at BlueChew.com. Chew it and do it. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew free when you use our promo code RVD at checkout. Just pay $5 shipping. That's BlueChew.com, promo code RVD to receive your first month free. Visit Blue Chew for more details and important safety information. And we, RVD and I, thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the podcast.
Super chat here. What are the chances that RVD will be a part of All in London 2? And what was your general opinion of how the first one went, event-wise, and the matches? Timmy G with the £5. Thanks from the UK there. What'd you think of the first All in?
Let me get right back to that. So Renee's suggesting, like, what if like the government was the one that's putting out the fentanyl? And during Prohibition, when alcohol was illegal, they actually poisoned the the alcohol that was medicinally available, so that if people drank it, they would die.
Wow. So, listen, okay.
Yeah.
Huh?
Where there's smoke, there's fire.
That was 100 years ago. That's not that long ago.
No. Yeah, Rob. So, what did you think of the first All In London and your potential of maybe being there next year?
Dude, I would love to. That would be awesome. You know, London fans love RVD. I didn't watch it, so I can't really give an opinion on it. I understand. I think that they drew really well. So I hope my understanding of that is correct. I know that when I was with TNA Impact, TNA drew more in England than they would in the United States. Don't know why. They could run the bigger buildings and pack it with the bigger crowds. And they just got us on their television, but their fans were in that way. So I could see where they would maybe want to support AEW as well as WWE or any other product. So hopefully that's true. Hopefully I'll be there. I don't currently, I think, have any bookings in England on my radar. So be cool to put some there.
Hey, Tony Khan, get on the horn. Renee, do you how do you like working in the UK?
Love it.
Yeah.
If I add up all my time staying over there, I probably lived there for close to 2 years. You know, because I would stay up to 6 months at a time. I would get a work permit and I would stay with friends and just work the European circuit, UK European circuit, dude. Because I don't have an American passport or American visa, right? But to get a UK visa, it's like $100, as opposed to American visa, which is like $5 or $6 grand, $8 grand. Yeah, it's crazy, the difference. Japan is actually free. Doesn't cost you anything.
No way. I didn't know that.
What a difference.
Yeah, you just need a company to sponsor you. Understand? And you can get a UK visa in like 24 hours, as opposed to an American visa, which takes 3 to 6 months. Yeah. So I would just base myself out of England, work a lot of English dates, and then just do Europe.
Is that when we were doing the AWR tours?
The one I did with you, they flew me from Canada, but the first one I was already over there.
You were on more than one AWR tour with us.
I did 5.
Okay. Yeah. I misunderstood. I thought you were saying the one that you did.
No, I did like 5 of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, it's
those are fun. Those are fun, huh?
Those are the best, man. We had a double-decker bus. We ran every major city in France, and France is like such a beautiful country. Fucking beautiful. The food is amazing. The women are hot. And the venues were packed. I don't know how you did on merch. I did very, very well. It's rare that I went out and sold merch, but when I did, like I needed beer money, I had plenty of beer money. Yeah.
Good tours.
Man.
Joe, what's Joe's last name? The booker?
Joe Cabret.
Yeah, Joey Cabret.
Yeah, very smart.
Appreciate you, Joey.
Joey, a very, very smart guy.
What's the name of the promotion? AWR? Is that what it is?
Well, it was. He was talking about bringing that back, but he also does something else. I wrestled for him.
Over the Top Wrestling out of Ireland.
Oh, okay.
OTT. Yeah.
OTT. Okay, I've heard of that before.
Yeah.
He's the same promoter, runs it. They do very, very well.
Nice.
Yeah.
UK's on my bucket list for sure. David Von Boglin, thanks for the $10. RVD, just a big thank you for getting me introduced to Kratom on Kevin's podcast, Nash's. Appreciate you, brother. Make sure to give our guy Dom a hard time. So cool.
I tried that Kratom a couple times. Gives you a good buzz. It helps a lot of people get off opiates, right?
Yeah. A lot of our friends have been able to get off opiates and take Kratom because it works on the opiate sensor in your brain. Okay. And it's made from dried coffee. It's a plant that's in the coffee family, and it's dried up leaves, and then they put it in capsules, powder, tea, gummies, shots now. They're doing like 5-hour energy shots and different ways to take it. It doesn't taste very good. I have yet to find one that's like yum, but yeah, it's a great alternative. And I am talking with a few people right now about trying to get something going, because my incentive is just to help people. Like, that's great. This guy, like I'm always going to remember, that I recommended it to him on Nash's show, and it worked for him, and that's great, because the people always want to know what weed would I recommend, what cannabis for pain, and I always say it's kratom, and I got a couple companies that I'm talking to right now about different things, but I'm testing some too, to the quality, because I might be putting my brand on it, on something like that soon, and it's something that, like I said, my incentive would be just to be able to help people get it more accessible. Most people, when the conversation comes up that I talk to in my world, are not familiar with it. If they have, maybe they've heard about it, if that, don't really know what it is. And it's something that has helped me a lot. I'm a big fan of it. I use it. A lot of my friends do. Katie does. But like Renee said, it was a good buzz. I don't get high from it. A lot of people do, and I forget about that, because it just like never happens. But that is something. I don't know if people take it just for that. Probably. I mean, what is being high but feeling good? So I don't know. But pain, sleep, anxiety, stress, just overall comfort. The best sleep, though. When I first started taking kratom, I couldn't believe how deep of a sleep. In the middle of the day, I'm taking a nap, and I wake up. It's like, like I felt like I was like layers and layers of sleep. Like I had to come up from the depths of hell. Like, oh my God, that was so heavy. Dreaming really vividly too.
Dude, do you snore?
Not normally, but I guess if I'm stuck on my back or something, then I will be. And
I didn't know I did till my wife actually taped me.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt so bad, because I would get kind of like grumpy at her, because she would snore when she's really tired, and I wake her up, tell her to roll on her side, and then she finally fucking taped me, and then I'm like a horse, and I apologize up and down. I said, I'm sorry, I didn't realize I put you through that.
Yeah. If I haven't slept in a couple of days,
it's really bad, right?
Then I'll snore, because it's a heavier. I guess that's what causes it. Yeah. Our dog Petrie, who we just lost recently, she was a snorer.
Was she?
One time we had my friend Dane was babysitting, watching her while we were out of town, and he said that him and his wife were in bed, and Petrie was snoring, and he thought that it was her, and he said that like he kicked her in the legs. He says, because that's what we do.
Yeah.
That's how I put it. That's what we do. And I kicked her again. She kept snoring, and I kicked her again. She wouldn't stop. And then I realized it was her. You didn't tell us Petrie snores. And I was just like, wait, so when you snore, you kick each other in the leg?
Hey, I got this crazy story I got to tell you guys. So I was out to eat for breakfast, right? There's this little dive bar I like to go to have breakfast, right? So I was outside having a cigarette, and this Asian dude asked me, because I was wearing shorts and a tank top. I just got back from the gym and I was sweaty, and he asked me if I was cold, and right away I noticed the accent. He's Japanese. So it's rare that we have Japanese.
Nothing.
Okay. So anyway, we started talking, boom, 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 and then I said, "Oh shit, man, you're from Osaka?" And then I told him I started talking my broken Japanese, and so anyway, me and my wife went out with this guy for dinner like a couple days later. Turns out he owns the largest marijuana fucking farm on the East Coast. Like, I thought my wife worked for the largest, but this guy who's Japanese actually owns it. And now we're like best friends. We're fucking going out to eat every month, because he actually deals with lobster out here on the East Coast too. He controls like 75% of all the lobster that goes from Canada to Japan, and he owns this marijuana. This guy is loaded. Fucking loaded. And now, he's kind of lonely when he's over here, because he has no wife, no children. And he's
So
it's amazing. it's amazing. Like, I believe in faith. I believe God puts people in your, you know what I mean? Like, he does things for a reason. Like, I was meant to meet this guy, and I was meant to introduce him to my wife, and who knows what's going to happen in the future. Maybe he can have her work, because she's very good at cultivating now and growing, and she's like a master when it comes to marijuana, you know, because she's been working at this shop for 5 years. She got in like 3 or 4 promotions, you know. She's like a general manager now, right? And so it's just, I don't know, it's always a cool story, I tell you guys.
That's awesome. That's super. It's crazy how things line up like that too.
Yeah, it really
I'm
is.
inspired by that dude's success too.
Oh yeah, he's from Osaka, and I was actually going to help Rob bring his brand to Canada, but because it's a different country and the laws are still not really fully in effect, because like if I have weed, I can't bring weed to, say, Maine, even though it's legalized in Maine and it's legalized in Canada, I still can't bring it across.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's
very weird.
I know it's weird. Yeah.
Jeez. Hey, speaking of cannabis, Rob, you got some new products happening here that got announced on 420.
For tobacco use only.
There we go.
That's what they used to have to say in Florida.
Really?
Yeah, I used to. I remember buying water bongs at the flea market. Was it the Oldsmar flea market? That was one of them. And yeah, they used to have signs. They could sell the glass pieces as long as it said for tobacco use.
Tobacco use only.
Right. Yeah.
Guys, if you go to GreekGlass.com, you can check out.
Nice. Check that shit out.
That's one's badass. That's like your old school ECW version there.
Pay-per-view bong or dabber, because as these guys at Greek Glass confirmed for me, if you pull the bowl out and slide a nail in there, then you got a rig. I said that's the difference, right? Between a bong and a rig is just the bowl or the nail. And they said, yeah. So let me know in the chat room if I'm wrong, but I don't think I am.
There you go.
I dabbed once. Wow, that was nice.
That one's a really nice one too.
I dabbed once, and I didn't know what planet I was on. So it's too strong for me, bud. Too strong.
It's very strong. It's a really high concentrated amount that you're taking in just a quick little fucking bam. Like, yeah. So it's unlike anything else, and you got to be conditioned for it. If somebody doesn't do it often, then 2 is usually too many.
That would be me.
One maybe they can handle if they smoke a lot or whatever in another consummation format, but they are likely after 2 going to be zonked like you probably were.
So when marijuana had first gotten legalized in Canada, there was like this little bar place in Moncton, where I'm from, that you could go like to a bar and like order a joint, smoke it right there, or for $3 you could get like a dab, just one dab. So I said, okay, I'll try it. $3. What the fuck? It's like taking a shot, like a shot of alcohol, right? Just one dab. Dude, that's all I needed. I was like, honey, you gotta drive home. I'm too fucked up. I think you just got another super chat popped up, dude.
Oh, all right. Yeah. Yeah, we do got a $2 one here. Oh, pull that up. If Greek Glass had Affirm payments, I'd buy one right now. Oh, Voodoo Vic, thanks for the $2.
What's Affirm payments?
What does that mean?
Yeah. Affirm is like an app or something I think you could use there. Where I think you can make payments on it, I think is the plan. I think that's what it is. Like, so you can separate up into like a payment plan is what it is.
So Affirm is its own gimmick like Zelle or Venmo or whatever.
Yeah. So
so these glass pieces that you're showing, we debuted on 420. That's the whole tie-in. April 20th, I was on TV, had an outfit. Don't know if you noticed, I had a glass piece on my outfit with RVD 420. If you happen to go to RVD420.com, I believe you will see these bongs and get a little information about our project. And it's Greek Glass is the company that I'm collaborating with here. Yep. And if you were in Philly, you might have seen these guys. They followed me around for the whole 4 or 5 days and filmed a lot of stuff. filmed a lot of you guys too, fans, and got a lot of good footage. And they've been real excited. Also, I've been on social media, on Instagram and Twitter. If you saw footage of me wrestling a bong, that's right. Because they showed it in 3 parts. Like they sent it to me, and they're like, okay, part 3 is in your DM right now. Click the invite or whatever. And I kept putting it out there, but I don't know if everybody. I don't know how they take it because I don't really know how social media works. As far as like where it's on the reel and other stuff that's in between. I don't know, but I'll learn to post them not on the story, but on my page anyway. But yeah, we did this. We filmed. It took all day in the ring at the Monster Factory in New Jersey. Me versus this regular bong, and then I end up getting an RVD bong. Reaching out in the corner, and I
for a tag.
Take a hit of that. Fuck this. Bam! Like you can't hang with me now. Fucking our bongs hit harder.
Boom.
Yeah,
you can go to rvd420.com or greekglass.com and check them out. And
they probably have the footage up there too. Yeah, maybe.
I think they might. Yeah, but definitely check out RVD social media though too, because it's definitely on there too. Some cool stuff. It's a neat venture. I'm excited for you, Rob.
Pretty cool pieces, even just like for someone to collect or whatever. I know I want one of each.
Right? Yeah. Why not? Why not? Renee, I wanted to kind of get your thoughts too. Your dad was a wrestler too, a legendary wrestler up in Canada. Talk about him a little bit and his influence on you.
And by the way, my dad was born on 420.
How about that's great.
No way.
Yes,
that is so cool.
Yeah.
Man. My dad, he started wrestling in 1955 or 1956. He just recently passed away in September. He was 1 month shy of his 87th birthday. So for a wrestler, that's like living to be 100, right? He didn't really want me in the business, but he knew from a young age that I was addicted to it. Because like when I was like 5 or 6, I would sit and watch WrestleMania. We had a copy of WrestleMania 1, and I would sit in front of the TV and watch the whole tape, rewind it, watch the whole tape every single day, nonstop, for months on end, to the point that they had to take the tape away from me. And then when I got old enough to know about money, they would give me lunch money, and then I would save all my lunch money to buy the WWF magazine every month. And my room was filled with posters of wrestlers. I even go into his old magazines, like The Wrestler or whatever, or Wrestling Magazine, where he was like the magazines that he was in and stuff. I'd rip out pictures of like Superstar Billy Graham and fucking Dick the Bruiser and all these guys, that I thought were cool. And then they just knew that, I'm hooked, right? When you're hooked, you're hooked. You understood that. And then, the business was really good to him. So he figured, why not? And he was also a promoter. So he got me working in the business when I was 13. And then wrestling when I was 14. He said, you got to be 200 pounds before I put you in the ring. So from 13 to 14, I went from like 150 to 200 pounds. I put on 50 pounds of muscle in like 8 months or whatever. I did what I had to do. And then, the rest is history, man. Like he ran the whole season. I mean, when I was 15, I did 128 shows in a row.
Wow.
Yeah.
May 1st, we went till September 7th, 7 nights a week, double shots on Sundays. And I would work twice a night. I do the second match, and then we go in again in a battle roll or a 6-man tag. So like by the time I was 18, got to WWF, I had 400 or 500 matches already.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then signed with WWF at 18, and he taught me also about how it's more important to save your money and invest it, because this business doesn't last forever. That's one thing he said. It comes to an end. So the money I did make, I saved it, invested into real estate, and now my money's working for me, So that's why I can say fuck you to whoever I want. I don't have to worry about burning bridges, because I have a payment coming. Like I have money coming in, so I don't depend on wrestling for an income.
Right.
You know, whatever I get from wrestling is just a bonus.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got a super chat, dude.
Renee, do you plan on someday writing an autobiography?
Yeah, but I think I would need, like, if my YouTube channel is big enough, really popular, more popular, then I could sell it through there. But obviously, a platform like a WWE would be the best bet because they're worldwide and you can really promote it on one of their platforms. So have I burned the bridge totally? You never say never. And some people like Bruce Pritchard say you can never really burn a bridge. If they can make money off you, they'll bring you in. Right. So there's a reason why Kevin Nash, Triple H's best friend, and just so happens to be signing before us this Saturday at the Wrestling Superstore. Is that a coincidence? I don't think it is, because we've been promoted for months. So why would he, Triple H's right-hand guy, just be signing right before us? Does Nash need the money? I don't think so.
Well, yeah, no, but they so like last time I was there at the Wrestle Universe.
Yeah, that's the place.
Yeah, they had ECW Day, and it's a really tight little place too. You know,
I've been there before. Really small.
Yeah, they had like, I don't know, 9 or 10 different wrestlers booked on that day.
Okay.
And it was like, yeah. And so it was like, I don't know who was there before. No, I was there like all day. Like, that was part of my deal because I got paid more than, the other guys. Right. But so I was there, and then Sabu sitting next to me. And then like Roadkill and Chris Chetty were there. And then those guys left. And then Sandman and Todd Gordon came in for the next shift, and Raven and Francine, and then they left. And then like another shift came in, and not sure exactly what order, but it was like that. So they just, I don't know, man. They have a pretty supportive fan base at that place there in Queens to be able to do that, and for people to hang out there all day and time their day around coming back to wait in line again to get whoever's autograph they want.
Right.
But
yeah. The fact that WWE has a character they call Dupree, Maxine Dupree, I think they're trying to get my attention. Something tells me. Maybe.
Maybe.
What do you think of the current WWE product? Is there stuff that stands out to you that you like?
I don't watch it. I watched WrestleMania both nights. Night 2, I marked out. It was a fucking hell of a show. I was a fan for one night.
Yeah.
Asked me to sit through Raw? No, thank you. Asked me to sit through a SmackDown? No, thank you. You want me to go to a wrestling show? Book me and pay me, and I'll go through. Yeah.
That's the way to do it, man. Well, speaking of, you're going to be in Flushing, New York here at the Wrestle Universe. I see April 27th, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yep, check it out. You can get some photo opportunities, autograph opportunities. You, Rob Conway, and Sylvia Grande are going to be there. So,
now resistance.
Oh, you got another super chat. You got 2 more, dude.
2 more super chats happening, man. Let's see. The Toronto Kid from Canada, 279. What's a place you guys always wanted to visit? You guys hit a lot of places, but is there something? Is this
the Great Wall of China? That's the one wonder I'd like to see.
Where? What? China?
The Great Wall of China.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Rob, how about you?
I almost, dude. Rob, you were on those tours of Romania, right? You came with us. Remember when the Irish crew went to Transylvania to see Dracula's castle? I still kicked myself in the ass. I didn't go.
I can't remember why was it just because we didn't want to hang out with who it was, or I can't remember why.
I was just tired. I just wanted to sleep.
Or they had to get up really early, probably something like that. Maybe. Usually that's to deal with excursion.
Didn't your evil ex go? I think she did. I think she might have went.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't go, and I still kicked myself in the ass because that would have been really fucking cool to see Dracula's castle.
Did they tell us that it was cool?
They said it was really fucking cool. That's the one thing I miss.
Yeah, I had the same feeling when they went to. Well, I guess we were in Italy. This is a different tour, I guess. But when they went to the Colosseum in Rome.
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah.
it was like Elijah Burke and whoever, and we were like, yeah, go ahead. It's gonna take all day, and you got to get up at 7 or whatever. We're like, fuck that. We're gonna hang out, rest, and then they all came back with little miniature replicas of the Coliseum, and I wanted one so bad. Yeah.
Yeah, but definitely the Great Wall of China is something I kind of like to see. Yeah.
Want to elaborate on that or no?
Well, no, I seen pictures and videos. I just kind of like to see it in person.
What does it separate?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
That's a good question. I never know that either.
Is it like two different, I don't know, like the north and south of the United States, kind of? I don't know. Do you know?
No, I'm looking it up right now. What does it separate here?
But it is one of the wonders, though, right? One of the 7 wonders.
Yeah, I believe you're right.
Yeah, I've seen Stonehenge. I never seen a pyramid. That'd be kind of cool.
That'd be sweet. Trying to think. I think it was more for defense, like back in the day.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, like
hey, you guys don't mind if I go take a urine piss? Okay. I got bladder. I got an enlarged prostate, so I gotta go.
We'll hold the fort down here. Let's see. Rob, is there any place you wanted to visit in particular?
Absolutely. And this, I don't want to say it's the only place, because I know there's a lot of places that I have never even heard of or been exposed to. Beautiful places. I'm quite sure of it, and there's some places that, man, it would be really awesome to go to, like that Mount Pichu in
Machu Picchu.
Yeah, yeah.
Let me think here.
I'm trying to think of the name of that lush green Peru and Lima, right? And but that's not my number one on my list, though. But that is something that hopefully life would bring me there sometime. But my answer, my lifelong goal that I've always since high school wanted to do and haven't yet is gone to Greece.
Really?
Yeah. There's been a couple of times where some tours, trips, wrestling related almost happened and didn't or whatever. But just being such a big fan of Greek mythology back in the day, like me and Dango were in high school, like we were convinced, like, boom, that's where life started. That's the source of everything. That's where the gate to Hades is, and Mount Olympus, where the gods are. And I don't spend any time or energy reading up or even refreshing my memory on Greek mythology. Although I did record an animated series called Crapopolis.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know you were there. You were on that show?
No, I recorded it. No, I'm saying.
I thought you did that. You were a voice on the show. I was like, that's fucking cool.
No, I'm just saying I haven't read any books or even or been into Greek mythology in many, many years, but I'll always have the respect and admiration for it. And I want to go to Greece. I want to see the Parthenon. I think it'd be cool to see the rock that these people swore was baby Zeus. Or no, they gave. So Zeus's dad Cronus would eat his children, swallow them, right? And he didn't, because fate said that he was going to be overcome by his child, and so when he would have kids, he would eat them. And Cronus was the heavens, and he was fucking Gia, which was the earth, and then eating the kids. And so when she had Zeus, she fooled him by giving him a rock. So yeah, and so he swallowed the rock, and then she raised Zeus in a cave. And then when Zeus was strong enough, sure enough, he took his old man out, castrated him. Wait, did Cronus get castrated or Uranus? His dad, or both of them. Uranus, I guess, got castrated, which was his grandpa, by Cronus. But anyway, you can see there's an issue with the family dynamic.
Yeah, a little bit issue.
Happens generation after generation. with these.
Please, Rob, all this talk about Uranuses.
Yeah. Anyway, they actually have all that, but I mean, all this stuff that to them, that was the Bible. Right now, I feel like there's still a lot of people of the population that swear by the Bible. You know, not as many as there was probably 50 years ago, but way more than there will be 50 years from now as minds get open more and science takes over more. But like as a kid, for me, and even my parents, you know, everything in the Bible was fact. Like that's how it happened. So that's like, you know, these people in Greece, that was their version. Like to them, it was so real. It was like, oh, it's raining again, and they had a reason, you know, for the rain, you know, because Zeus is upset and he's, you know, throwing thunderbolts down or whatever. You know, it gets cold because Demeter's depressed in the fall because her daughter's in Hades and she misses her. And so everything, there's just everything. The sun is carried across the sky by Helios in a chariot. And they really, really believe this. And anyway, when you're there, you can see the shit that to them was evidence, you know, and that'd be pretty fascinating, you know, looking at the things that were like, yeah, this is the rock right here. And this is the house that Castor and Pollux grew up in, the Dioscuri, the Gemini twins, baddest tag team that ever existed.
Right.
Hey, I'm going to tell you this story. It's about faith and higher power, and you can make this into a clip, okay, dude?
A little higher.
So you guys know Maryse from WWE. She married the Jizz.
Yep.
The Jizz. Yeah.
So when she first got to OVW in Kentucky, I was still living in Kentucky, and I had just gone through a breakup with a girl that I dated for about 4 years, right?
Oh.
So we're both French Canadian, so automatically we gravitated to each other, right? She's away from home. She speaks very little English. I speak French. Her mom's
French. You both French kissed.
Well, yeah, we did actually, but anyway. So anyway, at the time she was dating a firefighter. That was her boyfriend, right? But we hung out all the time, boom, boom, boom. And eventually, after hanging out so much, we actually became, you know, really close, you know.
Yeah.
But this one time I was living in Houston, so I go back and forth from Houston to Kentucky, and that's like a 16-hour drive. That's a lot of weed you got there, Rob.
Mm-hmm.
So I was supposed to do a shot in E-Town, Kentucky for OVW. Okay. As I'm driving, now mind you, I told you her boyfriend was a firefighter.
Mm-hmm.
He fights fires.
Now, I'm driving to the show. There's a freak snowstorm, and I actually hit a patch of ice, and I almost crashed my truck. And I just I go into the ditch about 100 miles an hour, and I'm fucking riding the ditch, and fucking anyway, I totaled, like my wheels fell off the fucking truck, and boom, and I missed the show. However, here's where the weird part comes.
You're driving too fast, sir.
A fucking transport truck, fucking T-boned, fucking hit into the guardrail. Guess who shows up? A fire truck. Now, me being me, I ran over to say, hey, man, you guys need help. And a firefighter looks at me and says, stay away. Stay back. What? Now, she was at that show in E-Town, Kentucky, and she was supposed to be my manager. But that's a higher power talking right there.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Right.
Stay away. Stay back.
Wow.
The office had already warned me, Renee, stay away from my divas. I don't want you to be around my divas, Renee. Right? Because they had heard that me and her were getting really close, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's good that you understood that message.
That's heavy.
You know, that's something that, you know, it's good to work on. And hey, my shirt's on backwards. You guys let me wear it the whole fucking time.
I was gonna say a thing. I wasn't gonna. You were on a roll. I just didn't want to bug you.
You actually would probably be amazed, laugh your ass off if you knew how often I did this. Like,
Yeah.
I'd say at least once a week.
I do all the time too. Fuck it. Yeah.
Anyway, I forgot what I was going to say.
Well, the whole serendipity thing and the higher power stuff with the fire.
Oh, that's awesome that, he's because that's a relationship between you and your universe, and that's communication. And that's like a lot of people let that go over their head and they don't put anything into that. And I have found it's so rewarding to build that relationship, build your awareness of when things like that happen so you don't miss it, because there's messages everywhere. And it really is like a great way to live in the magic of life and to have confirmation that you're on the right path. And it's a great way to live.
And like, being Canadian, I got a lot of Native American friends. You know how spiritual Native Americans are, right?
Right.
And I always knew there was something up with white horses. And I remember this one time we were on tour we drove from Winnipeg to Calgary, which is like a 16-hour fucking one-way stretch of highway, right? And we ran out of gas right before we got to Calgary. Yeah. And in the field was a white horse. And I asked my Native American friend, what does that mean? He goes, that's where you're supposed to be. When you see a white horse, that means spiritually, that's exactly where you needed to be at that point in time. Yeah, that's pretty heavy, right?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
There was a cool thing. So one of the first wrestlers I kind of got to befriend and everything was Shad Gaspard. And he would send me like script because he was writing a pilot for a pro wrestling show, and he sent it to me, and we would keep in communication. And I got to meet him at Wally Mania and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, oh, we got to do an interview sometime. Never got to do the interview, anything like that. And then obviously he passed away and stuff like that. And so I was always taught, like, if you're walking around and you happen to see a cardinal, that means somebody that's looking out for you, like wants to express their love to you or something to that effect. And I think that morning where like right before like the news broke, or maybe it was a day afterwards, sure enough, I see a cardinal that morning. And I always make that connection with Shad Gaspard about that kind of stuff. And I always think that's pretty powerful.
Just the way he passed away was like, wow. Like, I think he won an award. They gave him the Warriors Award.
Yes, yeah.
Like that. That's a really classy move on their part.
Yeah, I gotta say, like, out of all the wrestler deaths that I have been through, there's a handful of them that seem to like really strike the community in the heart and hurt them, in a sad way. Like Eddie Guerrero, like people are still saying, I still can't believe he's gone. Like they still can't believe it. But Chad was like that. I feel like his passing like really affected everybody emotionally, and we all felt a loss. Pretty impactful.
Yeah.
The three people that I can honestly say that I broke down crying were Eddie, Lance Cade, and Big Matty, Rosie.
Oh yeah.
Umaga?
No, not Umaga, but Rosie, his cousin.
Oh, Rosie died? I don't remember knowing he died.
Yeah, he died. I did one WrestleMania. WrestleMania has the WrestleCon or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Okay, well, I did one in Orlando. That's the last time they were in Orlando. And like one of the only reasons I went was to see Rosie, Big Matty. I love that man, He's a big brother. And I remember my table was here and his was right across. He was there with Rikishi and I think Black Pearl. Is that one of the other Samoans? Yeah. And then
the cousin.
Yeah, I was like, where's Matty, man? I asked Kishi, where's Matty? He goes, he had a leg infection. A week later, he's dead, So it's like, fuck. He wanted me to go down to Florida. He says, listen, man, we're going to get you back into the States. You can stay with us. We'll take care of you. We'll feed you, and we'll get this sorted out. He had actually called my house, one of the only boys that ever called me. And the fucking, you know what I mean? Because he had heard the story of me getting deported from the United States and all that shit. He's like, don't worry, man. We'll take care of you. Just come stay with our family. You know what I mean? That's the brotherhood of wrestling right there.
Right.
Yeah.
I got a bunch of stories like that too. It reminds me of when Gary Albright died, and me and Bobby Duncan Jr. were talking. You worked with Bobby, right? A little bit? Or?
I never met Bobby. No. Heard stories from Korea, though.
Yeah, he was
one of us.
What's that?
He's one of us.
Yeah. And also he was like somebody that, would stay at my house if he was in town or whatever. So like really, close friend. And man, I remember when Gary Albert died, talking to Bobby on the phone, and Bobby was like, "Van Dam," he's like, "We gotta watch it. We gotta be careful, man. Or they're." He was like, "They're out. They're getting us, man. They're our boys are dropping. We gotta be careful." But the way he was saying it, he was so fucked up that his words were compromised, and I could tell that he was really, really fucked up at the moment. And I remember thinking, Bobby, listen to your own words, because right now, I'm really concerned about you. And then boom, there he goes.
He was, but Gary, he was a heart attack in the ring, right?
Yeah. And Bobby had like a whole bunch of stuff in his system.
Yeah.
I think you missed Toronto Kid here. He's got a
Toronto Kid. Yeah, he's got a big one here.
Yeah.
Hey, that sounds personal.
A little personal.
Let's see something.
Oh, yeah, it's my prime minister. Great guy. In the thumbnail.
There was
really?
About picking a hand. Did you guys skip that one?
Oh yeah, you know what? Let's go here. I'll go. I promise you, Toronto Kid. We'll get right back to you here.
Was that a color one?
Yeah, that was a one too. Here it is. With everything you said about it, I guess this is referring to Taz, World Superior 200. Maybe let's figure out. With everything you said about him, would you have ever been told to pick a? Would you have ever been told to pick a hand? / Why haven't you gone to? So several questions here. With everything you said about him, would New Jack have?
That's what I think they're saying.
Would New Jack have been told to pick a hand?
I mean, it's the very sentence is conditional. Would he have been told to pick a hand under what conditions? You know what I mean? Like, I don't. I guess anybody could be under the right conditions if that seemed like the best move to do.
Yeah.
Like it was calculated when it originated, and it made sense. And the first guy did that too was the sound guy. If you don't know the story, at ECW was saying some inappropriate stuff to my evil ex, and he was trying to hook her up with his girlfriend, and she would tell me he said this and this and this, and I'm like, that's kind of weird, because he doesn't talk to me at all. And then she said to me, he says he's going to bring naked pictures of his girlfriend to show me next week, and I was like, oh, he did, huh? And I was thinking, that feels like he's crossed some boundaries now. This is my wife at the time, and so I was like, I'm going to smack him. I don't want to put him in the hospital. I don't want to knock his teeth out. I don't want him in pain for fucking weeks. He don't deserve that. He really deserves a hard smack across his face. And so the next day at the arena, I just walked right up to him and I said, hey, Randy, pick a hand. He said, what? And I went, smack. And I smacked him so fucking hard. Bam. And all of a sudden, it was like, the room like froze and whatever. And I was like, you know what that's for? And he said, yes, I do. And I said, good. I said, then, then do the right thing or whatever. I don't know what the fuck I said. But
so he realized that he knew that you were married.
Yeah.
Well, fuck, then he deserves it, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. This is lovely.
Oh, there's Lovey.
Oh, nice.
Checking in. Yeah. So, but like I said, I didn't want to break his nose or anything like that. You know what I mean? So I smacked him real hard, and then when he said he knew what it was for. I said good, and I tried walking away, and then he was like, "But Mr. Monday Night." I always remember.
Mr. Monday Night. Oh,
yeah, I always remember because it's funny. He said that. And I just turned back to him. I said, Randy, I said, right now I consider us even. If you don't shut the fuck up, you got more coming. And then he didn't talk to me for 2 or 3 weeks until I let him know that it was okay again. You know, and then it was like, whatever. I mean, it's not something I'm going to hate him forever for. It was just a smack. So when it came to me smacking Taz, in my mind, I was trying to belittle him by treating him like the sound guy.
Oh, see, like I hear these stories about Taz. My experience was Taz. He was always cool.
Yeah.
You know, he wasn't that guy that I hear about.
Yeah. Well, he became really cool after that. And then, you know, great guy to get along with, but he was really hard to get along with before that. Like that humbled him.
That humbled him. Yeah.
Yeah, it did. It did.
And like, yeah, no, Taz has always been pretty good. Like I remember, yeah, in interviews and stuff with him. He's always positive, dude. Funny. Renee, did you ever want to pick a hand with somebody?
In the wrestling business specifically?
Sure. It doesn't have, don't have to name names if you don't want to, but
I think.
As far as New Jack, you know, maybe, you know, but I mean, was I ever close to it? I mean, there was a time when I was thinking like, dude, you know, we might butt heads here pretty soon. There was a time like that. Why haven't I gone to ROH?
it's not very popular right now.
Budget.
Yeah.
They have reached out a few times and didn't work out. Aren't ECW reunions and Revival annoying? Not necessarily. It depends on if they're just being exploited or if it's a legit celebration for the spirit. Because if it's all of the original ECW guys being able to get together and be like, hey man, you know, my brother from 30 years ago, like we did crazy shit, we changed the business. It's cool if you can tap into that kind of energy and make it about that. But as far as like trying to revive it and shit like that, you know, yeah, it's there. It can never be like it was. The only way would be if it was just about the characters, and they're not there no more. You know, besides that, you can watch these death matches now where here's a bed of nails, you know, with a battery cable jumped or fucking hooked up to electrify it and poured in gasoline with fucking, you know, fucking tub of piranha underneath it. And you know, here's a sword, here's a pitchfork. What are you going to do to shock people now? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To answer your question, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I did smack a guy.
Oh.
CM Punk.
Whoa.
And it was during a match.
Really?
I'll tell you the story. So we had wrestled twice back to back on the fake ECW. Okay. I put him over both times. Now, the second time we worked, Ricky Steamboat was our agent. And me and Ricky are sitting down, Punk's over here. And I said, okay, Ricky, how about tonight? We'll start with the heat. He's like, yes. And then Punk threw a tantrum like a child. Like, oh my God. Oh, this is the disrespect that A, I've been in this business longer than you. B, I've been in this company longer than you. C, I'm doing the favors and putting your fucking ass over on TV. So I'm going to decide how this fucking match is going to start. And I'm right.
Easy, dude. You're getting worked up now. Easy.
Oh, no. It's just the goddamn stupidity of these fucking. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. So the way we started the match, I know where to slap a guy. You slap him in the neck, he sells it. It looks like you slap him in the face. But I slapped him square across the fucking jaw because he was a disrespectful little prick. Yeah.
If we're gonna go a couple more minutes, and I gotta run a piss break like you did.
I'll go take one too.
Do it. I can plug Get Blitz right now.
Sing a song. Okay,
we'll be ready to roll. Guys, yes. If you're liking what you're hearing today with RVD and Renee Dupree, guys, this is sponsored by Get Blitzed. Get Blitzed is a THC Lit A Delta 9. Rob is holding Barbie right now, and it's looking great. But you guys can go to get-blitz.com. It's by Mickey Ray Sinatra and his wife, Courtney. And there's tons of good flavors. You got cherry. You got tiger's blood. You got pina colada. You got key lime pie. That's Kevin Nash's favorite. But if you go to get-blitzed.com and use promo code RVD, you get 15% off. That is 15% off your order. And guys, this stuff is super popular. I got to interact with Mickey Ray and Courtney at WrestleCon, WrestleMania weekend. So did Rob. And guys, the Godfather loved what he was bringing around. So he was around and he was telling everybody about it. Bill Alfonso tried it out. Guys, you got to check it out. You can scan that QR code that's on the screen right now that you see. Go to get-blitz.com. Use promo code RVD. Legal in all 50 states. You get 15% off, excuse me. And yes, some really, really good stuff. You can get bundles there. You can also get just single bottles too. I have a single bottle of blue raspberry that's waiting in my cabinet. I'm waiting for the day when me and my brother meet up so I can take it and feel pretty good about it. So yes, get-blitz.com. Use promo code RVD, 15% off. So there we go. Hey,
dude, see if you can figure out what the website is for the glass, because I looked up 420, RVD420.com, and I didn't get a website to pop up. So I put in RVD420glass.com.
You can go to greekglass.com. I'll take you there too.
What's the deal with the RVD 420? Do you know?
Let me see. That should work too. I think because that took me.
Try it.
Trying it now.
So we're gonna go for what, another 15 minutes, Rob?
We can close. Yeah, 15 minutes.
Whenever.
Super chats now, folks. This is your last chance.
Mm-hmm. Get your super chats in. Yes, Rob. So it worked. RVD420.com takes you right to GreekGlass.com and the RVD Glass page. So you can use GreekGlass.com or you can go RVD420.com. So either one.
You're out in Vegas, right, Rob? So it's probably like nice and warm, right?
Yeah, it's fucking gorgeous.
Look at that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Gorgeous. I'm jealous.
It's actually, like last couple of days, it's been like 90. Like,
last night, dude, it was fucking snow.
You're snowing? You get snowing right now, Renee?
Well, last night it got a little bit like a frost and like a little bit of snow, but it was gone real quick, but still it's cold.
I should probably bring a coat to Toronto then, huh?
Probably, yeah. Hopefully New York is going to be a little bit warmer. I'm hoping so.
Hey, speaking of Toronto, it's a super chat from Toronto Kid.
Nice.
He's got a lightning round. Okay, this is for both of you guys. Pick faves. Roddy Piper or Ted DiBiase? Rob, Roddy Piper or Ted DiBiase?
Is it based on anything or I'm just
picking
one?
Like morals or Piper?
Well, morals Piper, you would go?
Well, did you not hear the accusation?
Oh, okay. Okay. So, So Piper for you, Renee. How about you?
I'll go Piper.
You'll go Piper too? Okay. Rock, Undertaker.
Rock.
Okay. Being hit by a steel chair or a kendo stick?
Where?
Let's say on the back.
Steel chair for me.
Steel chair.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thumbtacks or chops from Flair?
I've never done either. How about you, Rob? Rob, you must have gotten chopped. You work Flair.
Yes, I have, and I would. I've done both actually, because Abyss brought thumbtacks to the ring on that one match.
Okay.
I the lesser of the two evils. I don't know. I guess I would take some weak ass chops from Flair.
Hold on a second. Me and Rob have both worked Kawada. Chops from Kawada or thumbtacks. I never took thumbtacks, but I ready to take thumbtacks and a chop from Kawada.
Okay.
It's just, you know what? Like I just remember like pulling them out everywhere for the longest time. You know, it's like, ooh, it's shocking, but then and then like pulling them out because they're really stuck in your knee pads, your skin, everywhere.
Hey, did you get to work Tenru?
No, I don't think so.
Tenru was stiffer than fucking Kawada, dude. He got me right in the chin one time because I had my chin down. Busted me open with blood everywhere. Henry was a tough motherfucker. I seen that guy, 55 years old, bench press in the dojo, 5 plates for reps. Swear to God.
Yeah, no, I didn't work him. I was thinking of I think Jumbo Tsuruta.
Tsuruta? Okay. I put Tenryu right up there with Haku, as far because watching them, because they were both sumos in the dojos in Japan, and they had the same walk, the same body type, and the same training. And when I saw Haku for the first time, it reminded me of Tenryu. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah, Tenryu's a tough son of a bitch, man. Tough.
Who's the stiffest person you ever worked with? Was it one of those guys, or was it somebody else?
Tenryu and Kawada.
Okay, wow.
Tenryu and Kawada, yeah.
The last
Dude,
one.
I saw Kawada like sometime in the last like 6 months ago or something at a con. It was so cool because I hadn't seen him.
Did he remember you?
Huh?
Did he remember you?
He asked to see me, and he had his.
It was StarCast 6. It was StarCast 6. So they wanted to see you, and so I took him over to him, and that's.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, and yeah, it was cool seeing him because I hadn't seen him since I feel like I was a little boy. You know, that's what it seems like.
You were what, 22, 23 when you were over there?
When I went over there, I just turned 22. Just turned 22 a few weeks ago when I started with All Japan. Yeah. And then last time I saw Kawada probably would have been 99, but Noah had started, and I don't remember if Kawada had left.
No.
No.
He was loyal to Mrs. Baba.
So he would have been 99 then. Still feel like a little boy.
He might have done a couple of shots, but he stuck with All Japan. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Everybody else left though. Nozawa, Kobashi, Ogawa, they all left.
Well, here was his final question: Inoki or Baba? I think I might know the answer to this one.
It's gonna be Baba for me.
Yep.
Yeah. I never met either. So
oh, really?
All my time over there. Well, Baba had already passed away, and Inoki had been out New Japan had outed him. Oh, Rob, did I ever tell you the story? What he did? You know, because New Japan kind of like forced him out, right, of his own company.
Oh, okay. Inoki.
Kind of like what's going on with Vince now.
When Muda took over, or I'm not really sure. I don't think I know the details.
Okay, so New Japan, I think they got bought by Bushi Road. I think this is the time. Mm-hmm. But what had happened was, you know, Inoki was going through this phase where he wanted all his wrestlers to shoot fight with the Pride guys. Okay. They were tough, right? And he wanted to keep the style more of a shoot. So anyway, eventually it was so bad for business that they kind of pushed Inoki out. So he started his own promotion, Inoki Grand Federation, or Inoki Genome Federation, right?
Oh, dude, I don't know. When was this?
This was back 2000s, I would say 5, 6, 7-ish.
Wow.
Okay, and he had that company. Well, he's passed away now, but he had that company for years. Anyway, he'd bring in like Bobby Lashley, Jerome Le Bagnier, who's a guy from France, really good shooters. He'd bring in all the shooters because he loved that, right? He loved the shoot style.
No, so, wait, New Japan, not Inoki, right?
No. So Inoki wanted to change the style, so he would get like Nagata and all those guys to do shoot fights. Okay, but they would all get their asses kicked because they didn't have enough time to train because they were still doing a pro wrestling schedule, but then Inoki wanted them to go fight like Boss Rutan and all these fucking shooters.
Right. Let me ask you something. I just want to, because I don't know. I feel like I'm reading like an alternate universe comic book, but okay. So Inoki's got New Japan going, and then he decides he wants to change the style, and then that's why they pushed him out, and he started his own.
Business was getting so bad.
And then New Japan wanted to continue being pro wrestling, American style.
Right. So kind of like, you know how Vince is getting pushed out now? It was something similar to that, to where Inoki got pushed out. Okay. So he started his own promotion, Inoki. So to get back at New Japan, this was when A-Train and Tomko were tag champs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He got to Tomko and said, "Come work for me. I'm going to pay you big money to do a work shoot." Okay, so he gave him like these big 5-figure payoffs, put him up in the big hotels and shit, right?
And who is this? Who Inoki?
Inoki did this to Tomko.
Okay, right.
So he brought in Tomko, and Tomko thought, well, this is my new gig. Man, I can come over here for one match, do a work shoot, and get paid WrestleMania type payoff once a month or once every 2 months or 4 or 5 times a year. It's enough. I'll be set. He did it one time, and they did something with the tag belt because he was tag champions with A-Train.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when Medusa did the fucking belt into the fucking garbage?
Yes. Yep.
He did something similar to that.
Oh.
Completely fucked over Tomko because Tomko thought he had a steady gig with Inoki, and it was just like a one-time gig. And yeah, just to get back at New Japan.
Wow. How about that?
Yeah.
Jeez. So this federation,
Shane Douglas did that with the NWA belt too back in the day.
Right, he threw it down and spit on it or whatever. Yeah.
Yep, with ECW and stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Inoki Genome Federation.
That's it. IGF.
Yep, 2007.
Oh, no, I knew about IG. Well, okay, I knew about IGF, but then again, there was IWGP, right?
Yep,
that's what Simon Inoki.
That's the name of the title. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
New Japan title is the IWGP title. Yeah.
Yep.
Like I did a tour for Simon Inoki.
Yeah.
And I.
Oh, you worked for Inoki. It was IGF. You worked fucking the Necro Butcher.
Oh.
That's who you worked for.
But you're saying this was Simon Inoki's show.
Well, Simon was working
the son-in-law, but you're saying, but I mean,
that was actually Inoki's promotion.
You okay? Okay, yeah. I got you then. I got you.
Yes, Rob, you did. Here, I'm looking at it right now.
No, I know. I just didn't know that was Inoki's offshoot promotion because I thought at the time that Inoki was still with New Japan.
Oh.
In fact, I worked for New Japan after that with Inoki.
Wow.
How'd that happen?
Are you sure that's the same?
Hold on. Am I sure? Let me see.
I don't think so, bro.
I did one. Well, let's look it up. I did one New Japan Pro Wrestling show. We went to Inoki's restaurant, and you fight in the restaurant. He comes on, I think he headbutted me or something, and it's something weird where they come on and introduce you the night before, and just look it up. Was that?
Yeah, I'm looking right now.
Because
on Cage Match. So give me a couple here. Let me see where I can find where your matches are on here. Matches.
I can't remember who booked that or anything, but the Simon Inoki one, I just thought that was like completely different. And like the way Sabu had told me, I thought that was just something like that, like, I don't know, that Inoki gave his son-in-law to hear, go and keep busy with this or something. I don't know.
Here's the thing, like Simon Inoki married Inoki's daughter.
Yeah.
They got divorced. But Simon just kept the name Inoki after.
Oh, for the name cachet.
What year did Rob Van Dam wrestle for New Japan Pro Wrestling?
Oh, I see it, Rob.
Rob Van Dam wrestled for New Japan Pro Wrestling in 2005.
Okay, when did you work for IGF?
That he worked in IGF in 2008.
There you go.
Endo Cashin and Necro Butcher in a 3-way match.
Yes, because I was living there, I think. Oh no, I was working for Hustle when you were over there.
Who in Necro Butcher?
Kendo Cashin.
He wears a mask, right? Kendo Cashin.
Kendo Cashin.
I really remember him being in the match. That's
55
crazy.
years old.
Oh, okay. Wow.
And then Rob, you also wrestled again in New Japan on January 4th, 2011 in a no disqualification, no count out. You defeated Toru Yano in 11 minutes. That was Wrestle Kingdom 5 in New Japan.
Was that with a TNA?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A joint show. Yeah.
Collaboration.
So 2005, Inoki would have still probably been with New Japan. But then he got outed. You understand? That's when he started IGF and you went to work for him. Simon probably just booked you.
Yeah.
But there's a famous clip, all right? You guys know Sylvester Turkai and Drew Gallows?
Yep.
They had a singles match, okay? It was so bad. Inoki came out of the dressing room, started yelling, "God damn it! God damn it! Stop the match!" Chono was at ringside doing commentary. He hits Chono in the shoulder, tells him to fucking ring the bell
Wow.
because he hated the fucking match because they were just doing like sports.
Anger management.
Yeah,
You got issues.
he had lost his shit. Got so
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
He was on a Botchamania, actually.
How about that? Look that up.
Oh, we got another super chat popped up.
Oh, did we? Dang.
Okay. Oh, he's on my channel, this guy.
Is he? Yeah, he pops in from time to time too. You guys got any good big Papa Pump stories? He'll always endlessly be entertaining to me. Second only to Iron Sheik. Good to see you, Renee. CDR for life. Cafe de Renee for life.
I got one. You want me to start, Rob? Or
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, my first ever pay-per-view match.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm 19. I'm scared as shit. Right? It's versus Test. Hey, Rob. How do you get Test and Scotty Steiner. Okay, two of the most jacked up dudes, loose cannons in the fucking wrestling business. Okay, I'm 19.
Three
match. Three
of the most jacked up guys in the business.
Oh yeah, okay, well, yeah. Right. But I don't consider myself a loose cannon. Like those guys had the rep to be a little, out there. Test was stiff as shit. So the opening spot, right? I did this with Rob many a times where I'd slap, but I just slap myself and get the sound and not even touch him, right? Andrew, God bless his soul, slaps the shit out of me right in the ear. I lose hearing in my left ear for like 3 days. Hearing was all fucked up. Finally, we're in there with Scott. The referee tells us 3 times, guys, you got to go to the heat because he has the earpiece, right? Mm-hmm. Guys, we got to go to the heat. 3rd time.
Is that Kyoto? It sounds like Kyoto.
Yeah. Guys, we got to go to the heat. Finally, I'm like, Scotty, I think we got to go to the heat. As he's shooting me off the ropes, he tells me to go fuck myself. Fuck off! And then he hits me with because he had to get his, his kiss his bicep.
Yeah.
Boom. Yeah, he had to get his shit in. And then we went to the heat. Yeah. That's my Scotty Steiner story.
That's a good one. That was just good for the Test impersonation.
Yeah. Hey, Rob, where's Keeves? Where's Keeves, Rob? You see Keeves?
Rob, you got any good Scotty Steiner stories?
Steiner, not Test story, huh? I haven't really been around him a lot. I've wrestled him actually quite a few times, but outside of the ring, I sound like I've traveled or anything. I remember meeting him and his brother in Cordell City, Georgia, the Ben Masters show. It was like south of Atlanta, and I'm from Michigan. They're from Michigan. It's probably 93, maybe 94, maybe 92, somewhere in there though. And so I'm like a baby, like really young. And I just remember like, yeah, hey, we're from Michigan. And I just remember like, and these pictures are still around too. Like when I got a picture with Ron Simmons that night, and I got a picture with the Steiner brothers. I got a white T-shirt on, and I'm like a baby. But anyway, they were always really super cool to me, and sometimes I wondered, like when I was in TNA, sometimes like I'd be wrestling Scotty, and I wrestled him a lot of times, and it seems like I could be seen as a roadblock for him prospectively, because when they would tell us what they want for tonight, so then I'd be like, again, and I'd be like, is he okay with that? Right. The frog splash again, and I was like, man, I hope he don't start getting mad and feeling like it's my fault if they're not happy with the way he's using. But it seemed like we worked a lot, and every time I'd expect them to say, okay, tonight's the night to return the favor, and every time like it never came, I'd be like, man, I'm glad he likes me.
Yeah.
He's
a killer, man. That guy, he knows his shit. He knows how to shoot.
Oh, no doubt.
We just got another super chat popped up.
Voodoo Vic. Do you ever use bongs regularly for weed intake? How about both of you?
I'm honestly, I'm not a pot smoker anymore, dude. I really, I haven't smoked pot like in 15 years.
Wow, good for you. That's great.
I'm actually on methadone. I've been taking
Oh,
methadone for the last close to 2 years now.
wow.
Oh, you got a big one just popped up.
We did get a big one. Rob, do you use bongs regularly?
I don't. With this project that's come, that we're just starting now, like when I have some of my own pieces, so I can like film me using them and stuff like that, then I'll get into it more. But I am just, I am going through a doobie phase where I just like my joints rolled, and I just like to smoke them. And this phase has lasted for quite a while now. I have in the past, though, been a bong hitter or doing dabs was my thing for when I first met Katie. I do dab after dab all day, and like after a while, you get used to anything, But wow, that was like so much concentrate. But I'm gonna use it a little more. It's just I don't like the cleaning up that comes along with using the bong because it smells like bong water after the first toke or two, and then you got a bowl of ashes that you're smoking.
Dude, when I was smoking, I had a vaporizer. Those were great. The vaporizers with the bag.
Mm-hmm.
It was
like
awesome.
Volcano, right?
Volcano, that's what I had. Yeah, volcano. Yeah. And then like afterwards, you could use the residue and make tea and stuff with it if you wanted to. Yeah. So you didn't waste anything. Yeah.
But for people that have a high tolerance and smoke a lot of weed, they would complain they didn't get quite as high, but it'd be a good alternative. Be a good alternative to start on that or something, but or switch to it. But yeah, they would. That's what
my wife actually smokes more pot than I do.
So. Oh, okay. Hey, balance it out.
He's Japanese. That's saying something.
Oh, there you go. Wow. Yeah. Seth, he's the guy that does our song there, Renee. So.
Oh, cool.
Thanks, Seth. Bro? Yep, for the $9.99. We're still getting flagged. We got to figure that out one way or another. But he said,
did you like our song, Renee, at the beginning?
It got like a Bob Marley feel to it.
Yeah.
Huh? Reggae. Yeah.
Yeah, heck yeah. He said 420 match did not disappoint. Frog Splash was legit 5-star. What did you think of Tony Schiavone making corny weed jokes? I guess it's a step in the right direction. He was making jokes during during your match there, Rob. Being high.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Seth, for saying that about the 5-star. I was glad to end it. Glad it was over. I was having a hard time catching him. He was sliding all over the place there. And I'm not privy yet to the commentary because I haven't watched it. You know what? I was so confused all day, like because I had told people, "Hey, I'm going to be on 420, watch it," and then I was texting people because I found out that I was going to be on after their Wednesday show, which Wednesday is Collision, right? And then I was going to be on
Saturday is Collision. So you were scheduled, I think, for Collision originally, but then they did a 3-hour thing together because of the NBA. So you were actually on Rampage, but it was still on Saturday. So
still confused. I'm still
confused. Yeah. I was confused too.
Texting everybody, never mind, I won't be on until Saturday. Sorry, and then I was on anyway, and then they all missed it. And I was like, whatever.
You're confused. I'm confused. I don't even watch wrestling anymore. So I don't know what you guys are talking about.
What's going on here?
Yeah.
I was confused, and what were we talking about that I related that to? Somehow it made sense.
Talking about Tony Schiavone. You didn't hear commentary.
Oh, yeah. So what did he say?
So he made some just being high up top and a lot of weed kind of like direct telegraph jokes. Basically, it was entertaining for what it was. I thought, and it tied into everything.
You brought RVD in on 420 so that you could have that tongue-in-cheek moment, right?
Right.
The guy that I wrestled, Marcus.
So there was Commander, there was Lee Johnston, and then there was also Isaiah Cassidy.
Isaiah, he did a spot where he like offered me like weed out there, kind of trying to pantomime that. They were pretty tight on that, on turning down some ideas, and we had to trim it down to be able to do that. Like, it was just going to be a little bit more direct, you know what I mean? And they were like, no, can't do that. What about this? No, can't do that. What about this? No. Okay. How about, we do it like this, and boom, boom, boom. And it was like, okay. So even though they brought RVD in on 420, they didn't want like they didn't want us to be making smoking references for whatever reasons people are like that,
direct kind of stuff in a way. More innuendo kind of things, I guess.
Word.
Cool. Well, guys,
what did Seth say? Did he ask a question, or he just
that was it, just about the Shivani.
Oh yeah, so yeah, I'll watch it though. I'll watch it probably once, and I'll be like, I quit enjoying watching myself like a long time ago. So
okay, so Rob, when you coming to Canada again?
Saturday night I'll be, but Sunday I'm there signing Sunday at Kojo Sports. And
so when do you fly back? Do you fly back Sunday or Monday?
Sunday, immediately right after the fucking.
So is it like if I run into you, I'll be at the Pearson Airport maybe. Because I'll be flying back from New York on Sunday.
Okay. Yeah, like with thing I'm signing till 3, like 10 till 3 or 11 till 3. Okay. Something like that. And then boom, like I got like I think a 5:19 flight or something pretty tight. It's pretty tight. So
I might see you at the airport because I'll be there around that time too. And then you coming back in the next week?
No.
You'll be back in July. On July 7th, you'll be in Montreal.
Oh, okay. I might be booked in. Dude, oh no, that's July 20th. I'll be in Quebec City.
Oh, okay. July 5th through the 7th, Rob, or he's scheduled for that weekend. Montreal Comic Con.
There's a Montreal Comic Con.
Yeah.
Oh shit! You'd think me and Sly would get booked for that?
Yeah,
Fuck.
right.
Right, La Resistance in Montreal.
Yeah, right.
You think?
Freddy Krueger's gonna be there?
Huh? Hey, Rob, did you ever do WrestleCade in North Carolina?
Yeah, I've done it a couple of times.
Was that fun?
Yeah, it's a pretty decent show normally. This last year was crazy how slow it was. It was amazing, but it's usually one of the biggest shows. But me and the Hardy Boys and somebody else were all like in this one room. And like we got moved there. I think we started somewhere, and then we all got moved into this room. And it was like so crazy, like in the middle of the day, that sometimes there wouldn't be any fans in there. And we're like, what did they do wrong? Where is everybody? But I don't know. They had it like in, I think, an extra big building, and people didn't know where people were. I don't know.
Rob, that was StarCast. That wasn't WrestleCade.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, StarCast was the one where you and Matt and Jeff were all in a different room. And like there was like nobody kind of filtering in. It was a weird one. It was a weird.
That's Conman Thompson's promotion.
That was Conrad's thing.
I call him Conman. Yes, he wasn't very fond of me.
I don't want to talk shit.
Oh, really?
One's promotion was doing a good job.
Okay. Yeah, WrestleCade. I might be doing that this November. It's in North Carolina, right?
WrestleCade's a good time. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of fun.
I might be doing that. Chono is booked for that as well.
Oh,
yeah. I see him. I usually see him on the weekends. See him a lot.
Chono?
No, I'm sorry. I'm thinking Sonny Ono. My bad.
Oh, Chono is making a rare appearance in November in North Carolina. So I'm trying to get there to see him. Yeah, he's like a papa for me, man. He's the fucking man, dude.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Well, Rob, did you want to do an RVDology then? You had something in mind, or?
Yeah, real quick.
Sure. I'll leave you and Renee up. And
okay.
you guys can
I do this. I like to try and leave my Van Dam fam with a few words of wisdom that maybe they can keep in mind.
Sure.
My one-of-a-kind perspective, my ideology, and I have values that are consistent, that are always part of my foundation, and I make decisions based off of that, So this one's going to be really easy. This is a rule that I use to, I use it for everything, to try to decide whether or not I should do something, or anything like that. And I've said it actually during the show, and it's if there's a reason, there's a reason. If there's not, there's not. There's a follow-up to that. And the follow-up is, if there is a reason, is it worth it or is it not? That is simplifying life, but I think that a lot of you can apply that to a situation you're dealing with and find that maybe it really is just that easy. Someone earlier asked, would I ask New Jack to pick a hand? And I said, that's conditional. It's just like if, guys, the girl walks by and they're like, hey, would you fuck her? That's conditional. Would you, if what? If she would fuck me, or would I, if, it's like, hey, would you eat that? Would I, if I was dared to, or would I choose to, would I pick that? It's obviously not enough information. It's a conditional question. And so, use that formula, like, say there's a really tough guy, MMA fighter, Conor McGregor. I don't know. And it's like, hey, would you fight Conor McGregor? Is there a reason? If there's a reason, then there's a reason. If there's no reason, then there's no reason. And I use that all the time. If there's no reason, then it's so easy to answer. And then if there is a reason, okay, you know what? If they paid you, then is it worth it? You know what I mean? Yeah, it works. It works that simple. Not for everything, but for a lot of stuff that I think people struggle with. And even just answering your friends when they ask you questions, just think about it. Is it worth it? Hey, I get asked this a lot. Would you go back to WWE? Is there a reason? If there's no reason except for just to leave, to what? Just to go, just to pack my clothes and leave my house. That if that's the reason, then no. If the reason is money, then we go to that follow up. Is it worth it or is it not? And it really is a lot of times just that easy. It's my formula, and a lot of times I find that I can respond with that so many times. It amazes me that people don't even have that considered when they ask a question. Hey, would you ever challenge so and so? Is there a reason? And if it's for my ego, no. If it's for cash, then sure. But the thing about there being a reason is that once something happens, there's always a reason. Something present and something in the past, I believe there's always a reason. So you could say, hey, what's that tree doing sitting there? What's that? Why is that chair in the middle of the backyard? And you could say no reason, and that's fine, but it's not true. There's a reason that chair is in the backyard. Somebody put it there, they dropped it, whatever. Everything has a reason from the present moving past, but moving forward, there's not always a reason. So you have that to create still. So if someone's saying, hey, would you live in New York City? Again, what's the fucking reason?
Yeah.
And
right.
So yeah, anyway, so that's more for my listeners than you, but I appreciate you responding, and I'm sure I appreciate you being my soundboard, and I'm sure my the RVD fam does too, and it's been a pretty long one, so thanks for being on, dude. And have a good trip, safe travels.
You too, brother, and hopefully we do this again sometime real soon.
Absolutely, Renee. It's been nice meeting you, man. It's a good time.
We'll do the tag in Canada. You come on out. I'll be going in.
Okay.
Filling in the mass void of space being taken up.
But is there a reason?
Is there a reason, Rob?
Is there a reason? Yeah, because you want to get your ass home back to Vegas.
There you go.
Back to my wife. Yeah.
That makes sense, Dom. Like everything, like right now and past, I would argue over everything. There's definitely a reason. Why are you hanging out here? No reason. Yeah, but really, why are you hanging out here? Well, I'm killing some time, and I was thinking about going and buying some fucking beer, whatever. There's always a reason for everything that happened, and people that don't get that are inconsistent with my way of thinking. When people really think that shit just happens with no reason, I can't get behind that ever. But moving forward, now it's conditional. If there's not a reason, then it doesn't have to happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I told that story earlier where that freak snowstorm prevented me from getting to that show, to being with that Maryse girl, and then a firefighter told me to stay away. And I told you her boyfriend at the time was a firefighter, and the office had already warned me not to stay away from my divas. That's a reason. That happened for a reason.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, did you save any pictures on your phone?
I never know. Never did.
All
right, dude. Thank you so much, guys.
Thanks, Renee. Thanks, Dom. Appreciate you. Thanks again, Damn fam.
We'll see you next time here on One of a Kind.
All right, brother. Take care.
Have safe travels.
Yep, safe travels.
Boom.